evening everyone. This is Manali Raj. Welcome to the CSA Relay News Bulletin presented by Chanakya IAS Academy, Patna. In this segment, we demonstrate about the daily important highlights from the perspective of our civil services examination. Let us have a brief overview of today's headlines. Government released a draft of the National Deep Tech Startup Policy. Patna High Court upholds continuance of ongoing caste-based survey in Bihar. Manipur status report on FIRs show complete breakdown of constitutional machinery from May to July according to Supreme Court. Parliament passed multiple bills amid protest. The Registration of Birth and Deaths Amendment Bill, Multi-State Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill 2023 and Biological Diversity Amendment Bill 2021. GI tax for Goan mangoes and bebinka crafts from Rajasthan and UP. GST revenues registered 3-month high in July. Demand for gold dropped 7% on high prices according to the World Gold Council report. Today's synoptic report is about what does aspartame being possibly carcinogenic means. Moving into the details of the news, the draft of the National Deep Tech Startup Policy has been released by the government for consultation. It is a 9-point program for creating a supportive ecosystem for the deep tech startup sector. It is very crucial for enhancing India's capability and global competitiveness. A deep tech startup comprises early stage technologies based on scientific or engineering advancements. These have not been yet developed for any commercial application. The draft policy has been prepared by the National Consortium and Working Group formed by the Prime Minister's Science, Technology and Innovation Advisory Council. It has received inputs from more than 200 stakeholders from within and outside the deep tech startup ecosystem. The draft of the National Deep Tech Startup Policy has been released by the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the government. The draft suggested changes in 9 policy areas like nurturing research, development and innovation, strengthening the intellectual property regime, facilitating access to funding, enabling shared infrastructure and resource sharing, creating conducive regulations, standards and certifications, attracting human resources and initiating the capacity building, promoting procurement and adoption, ensuring policy and program interlinkages, sustaining deep tech startups, etc. Patna High Court has dismissed all petitions filed against the decision of the Bihar government to conduct a caste-based survey. A division bench of Chief Justice K.V. Chandran and Justice Parth Sarthi upheld the caste-based survey and allowed the state government to continue with the survey. The court has said in its order that we find the action of the state to be perfectly valid, initiated with the due competence with the legitimate aim of providing development with justice, as proclaimed in the address of both the houses, and the actual survey to have neither exercised nor contemplated any coercion to divulge the details and having passed the test of proportionality, thus not having violated the rights of the privacy of the individual, especially since it is in the furtherance of a compelling public interest, which is in effect is the legitimate state interest. On May 4th, the High Court had issued an interim stay on the ongoing caste-based survey. Authentic, reliable and scientific data will be obtained from a government's caste-based survey. The most backward and the poor of all sections will get the maximum benefit from this. Caste census will be a huge revolutionary step in the direction of economic justice, according to a government statement. The Manipur government status report on 6,523 FIRs points to an absolute breakdown of the constitutional machinery in the state since the ethnic violence broke out at the beginning of May, according to Supreme Court observations. The court has said that on a prima facie analysis, the police investigation into the cases was tardy. There was a considerable lapse of the time between the occurrence of the incidents and the registration of FIRs and recording of witness statements. Arrests were few and far between. The court also said that the burden of probing over 6,500 cases single-handedly may leave the CBI dysfunctional. Parliament has passed multiple bills amid protest. The Lok Sabha has passed the Registration of Births and Deaths Amendment Bill 2023 that paves the way for digital birth certificates, which will be a single document to be used for admission to educational institutions, applications for driving licenses, government jobs, passports or Aadhaar, voter enrollment and registration of marriage among others. This will avoid the need for a multiplicity of the documents to prove date and place of birth in the country. The centralized database is to ensure service delivery to the people. This database will also update the National Population Register, ration cards and property registration. The NPR first collected data in 2010 and updated in 2015 through the door-to-door enumeration. It already has a database of 119 crore residents NPR is the first step to the creation of the National Register of Citizens, the NRC, as per the Citizenship Act. Next is the Rajya Sabha has passed the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill, and this bill provides norms for appointing employees, ensuring no nepotism practices exist. Noting that there is a limit for the private sector when it comes to employment generation. The cooperative sector can spool jobs as the government is strengthening the cooperatives by expanding their sphere of work into the areas like the LPG and the petrol pump dealerships. The bill seeks to establish cooperative election authority with a view to introducing electoral reforms in the cooperative sector. There are about 8.6 lakh cooperatives in the country, out of which active packs are around 63,000. Another bill is the Biological Diversity Amendment Bill passed by Rajya Sabha, which was earlier passed by Lok Sabha. This act is meant for sustainable use of biological components and the fair and equitable sharing of the benefits with vulnerable communities. The legislation aims to amend the Biological Diversity Act of 2002. It was drafted in response to the concerns raised by the practitioners of traditional Indian medicine, various industry sectors, and researchers, who felt that the current biodiversity conservation law places heavy compliance burden, making it difficult for collaborative research and investments. The modified legislation also decriminalizes all offences, prescribing penalties instead. 7 products from across India, including 4 from Rajasthan, were given the geographical indication tag by the Geographical Indications Registry in Chennai. The GI tags were secured by Jalisar Dhatu Shilp, that is a metal craft, Goa Mankurad Mango, Goan Bebinka, Udaipur Koftgari metal craft, Bikaneri Kashidkari craft, Jodhpur Bandhej craft, and the Bikaner Ustakala craft. India's gross revenues from the goods and services tax hit a 3-month high to cross 1.65 lakh crore in July. However, at 10.8%, it was the slowest uptick in collections since July 2021 compared to the revenues from the same month last year. Revenues from domestic transactions and services imports grew 15% in July, which marked the 5th occasion that the GST revenues have crossed the 1.6 lakh crore mark during a month. Sequentially, July's collections for transactions undertaken in June were 2.2% higher than the previous month's GST kitty. Overall GST compensation cess levies, which will continue till at least March 2026 to repay market borrowings made amid the pandemic to compensate the states, grew 7.9% in July to touch nearly 11,780 crores. India, the world's second largest gold consumer, saw gold demand decline by 7% to 158.1 ton during the April-June quarter due to the record high prices in the domestic market, according to the report of World Gold Council. Gold purchases in India this year are forecast to drop to the lowest since the COVID-19 pandemic hit the second biggest consuming nation in 2020, with high domestic prices deterring the buyers. India is expected to buy between 650 and 750 tons of gold in 2023. This decline can be attributed to the prevailing record high rupee gold prices, which significantly impacted affordability and consumer sentiments. The demand for investment too dropped marginally by 3% to 29.5 tons from 30.4 ton in Q2 of 2022. There was a brief but notable impact on gold demand following the knee-jerk reaction to the ban of 2,000 rupee notes during the quarter. Today's synoptic report is about the World Health Organization recently declared aspartame, an artificial sweetener used in the food industry, as a possible carcinogen. Substances that potentially cause cancer are called carcinogens. Aspartame is present in a wide range of food products: sugar-free diet soda, iced tea, ice cream, low-fat yogurt, cereals, and medicines, such as chewable vitamins. In fact, it is quite difficult to avoid consuming at least some amount of aspartame in our diet. The report in which aspartame was evaluated and the several such declarations that question a substance as being carcinogenic are authored by a committee of experts under the authority of International Agency for Research on Cancer. Some news in text. Teleconsultations under Health Ministry's e-initiative, eSanjeevani, has reached 14.17 crore rupees. The telemedicine application eSanjeevani provides doctor-to-doctor and patient-to-doctor consultations and was launched in April 2021. Expected renewable share in state's energy mix in 2029-30 is 43.33%. The Union Power Minister stated that the government has been promoting the use of various renewable energy to attain 50% cumulative electric power installed capacity by 2030. Central government's debt at the end of March 2023 has been 155.6 lakh crore in rupees. According to the Ministry of Finance, government debt has reduced from 61.5% of GDP in financial year 2021 to 57.1% in financial year 2022-2023. That was all for today. Stay tuned to our channel for standardizing your civil services preparations. Thank you.